One's a former NFL star turned esports coach.
But I was getting the stink eye from my wife. She's like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing."
And one's a dad who can't stop playing Rocket League.
These kids these days, they're like, blah, 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 blah. We're used to jump and run.
Together, they welcome you to Ahman Green's Gamers Lounge.
Welcome to Ahman Green's Gamers Lounge. I'm your host, Ahman Green, and let me turn down that intro music. It's kind of loud, but I hope everyone's having a great week. We are in the middle of the week, hump day. That's why I did this show. It's like hump day is the day where you're like, oh man, we only have 2 more days to the weekend, or 1 more day till Friday. You know, it's football season, so you got Friday, you got football almost every day. Video games, that's every day anyway. You could do whatever, but if you want with that, you could play video games all day, all night, but we not recommend it, obviously. That's like our dream. That's like a vacation. That's a staycation, to play video games at home all day long. So, if video games are a part of your life, so welcome to Ahman Green's Gamers Lounge. This is the ultimate destination for all things gaming, hosted by myself, legendary running back for the Green Bay Packers, Seattle Seahawks, and the Houston Texans. And this is my weekly getaway on to the latest news, hottest game releases, and in-depth discussions with industry leaders and other fun stuff. Industry leaders, whether it's casual game, whether you're a casual gamer or a hardcore gamer, and a esports fans, this is the show for yourself and for everyone to enjoy. So grab your controller, settle in, and join us as we dive into this dynamic world of gaming. And we have some fun articles that I pulled up on today's show to talk about interesting topics. A lot of hostile stuff going on in the gaming places between people having jobs, losing jobs, or companies suing other companies, things of that nature. So this is why today's This or That is called the Hostile Takeover, guys. So OG John is in the chat. I think he was the first in the chat. Dome Rocker, I think he beat you in here. He said, "Do we still have a visitor?" That's cool. So right now I'm rolling solo. Rico and John. I know John, today is John's birthday. So happy birthday. Shout out to my man John Arias. Happy birthday. Don't know the age, but I know he's up there. He's around my age. I'm 47, so he's in that neighborhood. So he said him and his wife and kids are going out, have a fantastic night, get some food, hang out, do some things. So he always does it big, I know. So happy birthday, John, out there to you and your family. All right, enjoy, and hopefully see you next week or the week after that. Dome Rocker, OG John 67, y'all in the chat with me. So we're going to have some fun today. Hey, I had a good weekend. Busy, and now it's kind of slowing down. So I went back to Nebraska, saw my Huskers beat up on the Rutgers, and they kind of beat up on each other. Really, it was a tight game. It was a defensive game. Kyle Monangai is a fantastic running back. We contained him enough where he didn't let loose a whole lot in the game. So happy for that. So our team was able to get one extra touchdown more than them. So we won 14-7. So I was in the stands. It was a hot day. It felt great in Nebraska. It was like Texas. Like Texas usually in the 90s. Like right now it's 86 and sunny. So being up there in the stands, like it took me back to my high school days where me and my good friend, some of my high school buddies would go to the game and sit in the stands, and when it'd be melting hot, then I would fall asleep and by the fourth quarter because the Huskers were up by 40 or something like that. And I knew they were going to win the game. But no, this was a good game. Didn't know they were going to win, but they pulled it off. Defense is on point this year for my Cornhuskers. They are doing their thing. He said, need to get a shade over that window so your things don't fade in the room. I don't have direct sunlight, Dome Rocker. I know what you're talking about there. I think the indirect maybe, but the sun doesn't really post through here because where we're sitting at the way on the angle of land, the only sunlight comes in through the front windows and then the back windows. So me being on the side, I think I'm good on that. So, but I know what you're talking about, man. So appreciate there watching out. Help me be conscious of making sure all my cool toys. I got a lot of stuff back there because I brought some things back. So after the game, the next day, me and about 4 or 5 of my compadres that if you watch the drive with me over on the ticket, so 93.7 FM, we're on Twitch as well. We're every morning from 8 to 10. I wasn't on there this morning because I had to do some work, and I just got done doing that work, was unboxing and loading up storages and trying to make room in our house. We have more boxes down. We've had a lot of stuff from our Green Bay house that is still coming together down here in our Houston house. So just unpacked some stuff, dropped off the rental. We had a rental truck and a trailer to bring that down. So me and my wife drove down here yesterday, day before yesterday. On Tuesday. Monday. I'm sorry, Monday. Got here Monday night, and then Tuesday was able to unwind and then start unboxing stuff, shipping stuff around and breaking boxes down, throwing stuff away. So I'm gonna probably, at this point, like I got a lot of stuff that I want to get out there. And what I mean by get out there, he said, oh, those Funko Pops. Yes, Dome Rocker, the Funko Pops. So I have some Funko Pops that, between Funko Pops and some memorabilia that I'm willing to part ways with. I did it a few years ago when we did move, or last year, or 2 years ago when we moved. I did the Whatnot stream. And so I do have a Whatnot profile. And if you know Whatnot is where you could go on and sell cards, hats, jerseys, whatever, clothes, whatever, mostly tradable stuff or memorabilia stuff, like signed autographs, like a hat or a t-shirt or a jersey or a helmet, like that helmet there on my head. So I'm gonna do that. Or I might just sell the stuff on here and just, do a little auction fun thing. But Whatnot is set up for that. So I could set up the app, which I did it a few times 2 summers ago. And not this past summer, but last summer. And I sold some items. So a whole bunch of shoes. So I have shoes that's going to be going on the market. Have some of my playing stuff, some of my cards, some of my 8x10s, foundation stuff. And I know for a lot of you that are in the fantasy league, the winners of the fantasy league, I still owe a few items there, helmets, signed helmets, I think 5 signed footballs, and some signed jerseys for folks that haven't received your winnings from our fantasy league that we do for the Ahman Green TV channel, fantasy league. So we got that. I got it on the list. I haven't forgot. I know this. I'm just working backwards, trying to get things going. What's up, Eeyore, man, in the house? OG John says, man, good used items would be so cool. Yeah, so cool. Eeyore says, I was here before you started, but I was playing games. Oh, hey, you got to say something, Eeyore. You got to make sure you put hello in the chat so you be the first one. It started a couple weeks ago with Aikido and Yodel Strudel, I think, and Dome Rocker. They started saying, first one here. So that was my last. That's been not my whole. Yeah, that's my last week. Been super busy. So now it's gonna calm down because tonight I'm streaming, and then I'm gonna go run some errands. Then we're flying again out of town tomorrow, but we're coming back to my old home state of Wisconsin, coming to the Arizona Cardinal game that is on Sunday morning or Sunday 12 o'clock kickoff. So come and check that game out. So I'll be there for most of the weekend again on the road, but won't be ripping and running, having to move stuff. Just gotta meet and greet, meet people, see our friends that live there and all that. So that'll be a fun trip. And then we're back. And then when I come back, I'm gonna get heavy lifting going between streaming again, getting on back on my RPGs and my Halo and my Madden. And I've been playing FIFA. I've been playing 2K golf, 23 golf. I've been playing all the sports games. And so I just uploaded NHL 2024 on my Xbox. So I'm getting into that too the rest of the year. And so I'll get my schedule. I want to get a consistent schedule going, what I've been doing before in previous years. So are we going to be able to visit? Hey, I'll be in Green Bay, Eeyore. So if you're coming up to Green Bay, please do. If not, I'm driving down to Milwaukee, so I could probably stop by. Maybe Eeyore, see you and the Keto and crew, family and friends and everything down at the Gaming Generation store in Sheboygan. So yeah, that is what's going down with me here. What we got here? Let me see. Let me send this message out real quick. Oh no, that one. No, this is business. Let me go serious. I don't have a serious business email. When I think about it, I have Batman 30 and I have Ahman Green TV. I do have my foundation email, which is the info for my website. So yeah, but all right, let's get into the show. So real quick, let me shout out to Sly. Plays an essential part of life, whether it's digital or outdoors exploring. Your world is fun. Keep the good times rolling. That means playing those fun RPGs, going to another planet, going to another dimension, going to another world, like playing GTA, trying to rob banks, but it don't work out. You know what I'm saying? So keep the good times rolling. Support your play with Sly Boost, Sly Chill, and Sly Dream. So make sure you explore. All right, that's what Sly is talking about there. So let's get into our first segment of the show, which is, I got to turn the volume back up now, which is Quick Hittin News Bytes, y'all. Oh, that felt so good. I love doing that. So here we go. Let's get it on the screen here. All right. We have fans are extremely concerned over recent staff changes at the Halo franchise because there's a lot going on with Halo. So they got a lot of staff changes, but then there's it's actually developer changes as well here. So as I scroll down here, and so I was just told that Microsoft is also changing the developer. So they're going from 343 over to Unreal Engine 5, which is like, ooh, that's a big deal. So some of the story highlights: 343 Industries has a new leadership and is focused towards DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. Fans argue that the emphasis on DEI is harming the franchise's creative aspects. I will disagree with that. And the franchise has transitioned from Split Space to Unreal. Split Space, not 343 Studios. Sorry about that. Not 343, but Split Space to Unreal Engine 5. So the Halo franchise has been a big part of Xbox's success since it started, but in recent changes have worried the fans just a little bit. So once a leader in first-person shooters, Halo has faced challenges in recent years, and the latest news from Microsoft and 343 Studios has concerns released among the players of the game. So fans worried about the growing emphasis of diversity, equity, and inclusion within the Halo franchise. So this part is just interesting to me. I'll dig into it after I read here a little bit more. So why it matters. So this is from the article. It's over at techforgamers.com. You can read more as it goes, but I'm reading it out to you and I'll give you my feedback. So why it says why it matters there. So some players believe that this focus has harmed the quality and creativity that made the franchise so special. And I wonder what that quality really looks like, or the creativity, because I see it. I still see it. Like I play the game now, and playing in different. They have it as every season pops up, then you have a new category of things to accomplish. The battle pass. I see everything to me is flowing right away, as usual. And we have the diversity inclusion officer, executive officer Melissa Boom, as she's here on the screen. This is her LinkedIn profile, as you see in the scene. So he says they dropped their own engine to go UE5. Yes, they did. And 343 Industries has changed name to Halo Studios. Exactly. And she made a big announcement. Melissa here. So shout out to Melissa here and Halo Studios. So that's what they said here. It says Halo Studios, 343 Studios or Industries has rebranded to Halo Studios, marketing the start of a new era called New Dawn. The studio new chief of staff is deeply focused on introducing DEI in Halo games. So many fans fear it is just a PR move to hide bigger problems with the franchise. But what is the bigger problems? That's what I ask. Because I say DEI is a good thing, because in most video games we have seen that. We've seen this in Overwatch. We've seen this in Valorant. We've seen this in Fortnite. And so companies and game developers are fully aware of today's time and what's going on in our space right now, in the gaming space, but then in life in general, right? So I'm okay with this. I love this part, because then everybody that works for Microsoft that is in the DEI area, that in terms of who they are, what they are, and where they're from, and what they I say designate as, can now have a fair a fair level playing field. And that's something as a kid that I relish being treated fairly, playing sports a lot as a kid, and seeing referees. I remember I had this one flag football game where these referees had it out for us. No matter what we did, we got a flag. And it was an all-star game. And I think I was 7 years old or 8 years old. And when you don't play it doesn't feel right when you're on an unfair playing field. And so things that you do, you got to work a little harder to get things done a certain way or the right way, because somebody's going to be either judging you differently because of the way you look, who you are, and where you're from sometimes, what team you play for. Because our team, like I said, in that game, no matter what we did it wrong, from holding to flag guarding. It was flag football, mind you. And we finally scored a touchdown. Man, we had about 6 touchdowns called back. So obviously, I asked my mom and dad after the game, like, what was going on? My dad was, not happy. He was very upset because he saw what the referees were doing. He was giving them the other team the game. We were destroying these kids. And come to find out at the end of the game too, on top of that, not only did the referees cheat us out of the win, they saw my dad or I think it was my sister's boyfriend who was there, found out that they already had the names of the other players' name on the trophies that they were handing out for this all-star game. So that's a kind of an example. The best way I say I can explain that, having a fair playing field, because then when you're in the workplace, being a woman, it's a different frame of reference. Being a person of a binary person, it's a different frame of reference. Being an African-American person, being an Asian-American person, being a woman on top of that, of any background, it's a different frame of reference. So when I see frame of reference, is your point of view, your POV is different. We know what POV it means in the video game space. So when that POV is different, and you're going to have a different view, because some people don't realize it, but they're going to look at you in a different way. They're going to treat you a different way and not even be aware that they're doing it. And so it is us. We got to step up to say something, say, hey, you might need to might want to change your tone, or I mean, you know what? Let's have a private conversation because I felt you approached me a little bit differently. And so to have a playing field and that to bring up DEI in a business that's a big company like Microsoft is a big deal. I don't see it taken away from the creativity. I don't see it taken away from the quality. From what I've been playing, like I already mentioned, the games look fine. The multiplayer, Slayer, and all that, and all the different skins now that we have, didn't have it before, and now we're all down that line, just like Fortnite, just like Overwatch. We have these different color skins: Asian American History Month, African American History Month, or Black History Month, Polynesian and Asian, History Month, or they have those skins that are that color, and that's the part I love because now you have. If you of that background, you are now represented. So that part, it started before this change. I think that was the kind of the testing ground, in my opinion. Chinese New Year as well, Dome Rocker. So that's the part, because it then everybody is one, like I already mentioned, represented. So for the people that don't really agree with this, I say maybe just learn more about it because it's all about knowledge. If you don't know quite everything about what exactly DEI is, and why they're initiated it at companies all over the world, and businesses all over the world, it's a big deal. It's to make it a fair playing ground for everyone in the building, no matter who you are, where you're from, and what your background is. And so having this as an initiative, to me, is saying a lot because then they're looking to make sure everything is fair for everybody and they can make the experience fun for everybody as well. So it says, Dylan Mark says, we are one, we all bleed red. Yes, indeed, I do agree with that. But there's people that have your opinion, and it's not that we're disagreeing. Like, I don't mind people's opinions. I want to hear people's opinions because when you hear people's opinions that may disagree with something like this, that's worried about the quality, that's worried about the creativity from Microsoft, that's okay. Just because I disagree with you don't mean I don't like you. Because I got friends all the time. We disagree all the time, but we're friends. We still friends. We've been friends since high school. So that's the beautiful part about agreeing and disagreeing. It's an okay thing. You just don't take it obviously where you are going to become harmful amongst each other or hostile. And that's where the conversation needs to stop. So hearing everyone's opinion helps us grow. Exactly. And it's the conflict. It's a little conflict, right? And that's one coach said to me, I remember it was Mike McCarthy. He said conflict is good because it helps you grow. So you're right there, Dome Rocker. So if you want to, so reading the article, I read some of the broad strokes of it here, but the fans still feel. I'll read a little bit here what the fans talk about. It says these fans feel that well-represented matters. Focusing too much on diversity and inclusion may push away longtime players who love playing Halo for its sci-fi story and multiplayer multiplayer part of it. So fans believe Halo should prioritize gameplay, competitiveness, instead of concentrating on social messaging to regain its status as top title in the FPS drama. So to that remark, I would say, let's just wait and see what Microsoft is going to do if they're saying they're focusing on diversity and inclusion, because I don't think, until then you could say, okay, it's the storyline of Halo went a different direction or didn't stay on track with the other one. Let's wait and see. So we don't even know what direction they want to go, right? Obviously, if you played all the games, the storyline between the Covenant and the Spartans and the human race and the battles on every game. I've played majority of the games, and I've gone back and played the old games, so I know the storyline. So if it changes, hey, that's just creativity's change. The stories change. There's new writers, new directors, new developers that are going to be a part of this line. And as we see with Melissa and her new crew. So for within the building of Microsoft, I say good job. So now that the chiefs of staff at Halo Studios is an ally of DEI video games, I feel that this company is setting themselves up to continue to move forward and up. Because companies that don't have this, we saw a few years ago, right after COVID, what happened with Activision Blizzard, with their whole non-DEI initiatives going on. And when they finally, executed them, they were probably too late because it was already stuff going on within the business, within the walls that were not very uncomfortable for a lot of people, mainly women. maybe, and mainly people of color, of all backgrounds. So that's where DEI did not exist. So it was not a good place. And we already know what that story was all about. So that right there is good. Like I said, hats off to Microsoft for hiring Melissa and her taking the lead and going down that path. She will have this is just a little resistance from the fans. We always going to have that, just like fans of games or as fans of sports. You know, I'm a Packer. I was a former Packer, and we didn't play good. We heard it from the fans. But it's just part of being a pro. And so here's some feedback from fans of the game, and you can see this on Twitter. It says it's Microsoft. It's Microsoft. They're all in on this DEI. You know what? You can expect most of Microsoft's titles are going to have the Mind Virus front and center, which is why AAA games have been in the blank the last few years and will come to be so. Well, we know people are harsh online, so it's going to be a lot of different opinions, strong opinions, as we had here on Twitter, on X. So, and again, it's your opinion, and do I have to agree with it? Nope. But they get the words out. You get that off your chest for this person here, and then we move on, and we'll see where it goes, because really it's going to be up to Microsoft to see how this goes and become a fantastic experience. I know for me, I've been loving Halo series. Infinite is awesome. I just watched the World Championships over the weekend. Looked great to see Space Station Gaming win, but they're handing out awards now to Coaches of the Year and Players of the Year. And so they're progressing stronger and stronger and doing more things and making it more fun to be a professional. So when you're doing that at that level, so the grassroots level for us is still growing in the right direction here. And we had, Don Rocker said, it's kind of like how different creators change maps to change, exactly. And different audiences, 100%. And hearing everyone's opinions helps us grow. Yep. Indeed, Dope Rocker. So yeah, like I said, you could go finish that article over on techforgames.com if you want to read more into the details. But yeah, but big deal though. It's the fun. It's going to find out what Slipspace engine is going to be compared to Unreal Engine 5 and what that game is going to look like here. So I'm super excited about that too, because when some big game companies like Ubisoft, like EA, Epic hasn't done it yet, but when they change their developer, so you have the Microsoft moniker, you have the Sony moniker, and they go off of 343, or they go off of Bethesda, or they bring something in like Rockstar or Frostbite, they change that. It's always like, man, what's it going to look like? Because we've seen other work isn't going to look that nice, where it's going to be badass looking, like, oh, we're going to love it as the gamers, or it's going to be like, oh man, that didn't look good, that didn't play good, it was glitchy, all this and the other. But it's for us as audiences, as gamers, that's kind of part of the excitement. When you hear a new games or you hear a games coming out that has been around forever, like a GTA, like a Halo, like a Madden, like a now Fortnite. We could go CS:GO, any shooter, Valorant, and say, "Oh, we got a Valorant now with Riot. They're gonna work along with Bethesda." Just hypothetically, like when we hear that, we're like, "Ooh!" It's like with the NBA. Steph Curry, when KD came to Golden State and they won a couple championships together, right? So you hear that, oh my God, like so and so is gonna be working with this group now. So it could be a fun and exciting thing. But obviously, like I said, everybody's to their opinion, but having different opinions, we can always disagree, but we're going to gel together. We're going to be a fan, all right? And I got another story here. So like I said, hostile takeovers here, man. Good big stuff here. Next story here. Let me pop it up here on the big screen here. Is it there? Oh, yeah, there it is. So we have Tencent and Guillemot family reportedly planning Ubisoft buyout. So I'm like, man, Tencent is going to buy Ubisoft. Woo! They got buku drugs here. So let me read along here. So original story back on October 24th of this year, Tencent and Guillemot Brothers Limited had been exploring ways to stabilize Ubisoft in the wake of its recent troubles, which could result in pairing in the pair buying out the publisher and taking it private. So sources close to the matter told Bloomberg that the two companies have spoken to advisors about potential routes forward, although these considerations are an early stage with no guarantee they will lead to a buyout. So that is a hostile takeover time conversation. Acquisitions, as a friend of mine here, my new friend here in Texas, one of my neighbors, is an acquisitionist. So buying out companies. So the news follows the call from minority shareholder AJ Investments for Ubisoft to go private, flowing sharp declines in the company's share space. So Ubisoft market capitalization stands at 1.4 billion euros, so that's 1.5 billion American, after shares have fallen 54% for so far this year. So the price dropped to a 10-year low after the launch of Star Wars Outlaws. Really? I thought it would pump up. That was a good game. I'm still playing it. With which the company has since admitted saw softer than unexpected sales. So that's a little surprising, right? Star Wars Outlaws coming out, a big title, right? Big company name, and it just didn't, I guess, hit like they thought it would. I know, hey, I liked it. I'm still playing it. So I appreciate it. So I know Dome Rocker, I know Eeyore's a Star Wars fan too. If y'all played it, what was y'all opinions of the game? You know, have y'all beat it? I haven't beat it yet, but I know I'm probably like 10, 15% into the game. So that's interesting. And so to see a big game that they put out, this is their third. Is it Ubisoft's third time working? Well, not their third time, but recently, because they did Star Wars Soul Survivor and Jedi Order. I think that was Ubisoft. I'm not sure. Correct me if I was wrong. I'm wrong on that. So it goes back to what you were saying about the fans. Shareholders get scared. Yep. So Jedi Order and Soul Survivor, is that partner? I know it's EA, but is that with Ubisoft too? Aikido or Dome Rock, if y'all could probably answer that for me. But yeah. And see, when you talk about shareholders, you get into stocks and bonds and all that. Like people, I think being scared in doing anything will cloud your judgment, first of all. But if you like follow the numbers, right? Because I know I have friends that are heavy into doing the stock and trade and all that stuff. And they know when something is about to happen because they look at the numbers. They could look at last year's trends and predict that this year is going to be this, or it's going to be bad. Don't do this. If you have an investment, pull out. You know. So there are people that can read that, and so if they have that, then don't say scared. Just say, hey, I got the knowledge of. That's because the wording saying scared or I'm fearful of this tells me like you shouldn't be doing it, right? If you're going to be confident in buying stocks and buying bonds and trading them and doing that type of business or doing really any business, like for example, me playing football, me playing baseball growing up as a kid, me playing pro ball, I couldn't be scared walking out on that football field. And this is my business, right? I didn't fear nobody. Not that I did not respect everybody. I respected everybody I played with, even coaches, because they're putting together game plans to, my offense that I was on along with Brett, stop us, slow us down. So I got to respect that coach and think beyond of, how they're going to do what they're going to do. And obviously they respected me in return. So if you're going to have that type of career, dealing with acquisitions, dealing with, making sure the product comes out right, then you can't be fearful. You can't be scared to do things. Keto says here, EA has handled Battlefront 2, but the PS2 Battlefront remasters as by Spire, along with other remasters of Republic Commando, Racer, and Couture, etc. Okay. I know some of them games. Republic Commando, I remember that. I got to play Squadron. I haven't played Squadron. I want to play it. I have it on my Xbox. I got to get it uploaded. But back to Tencent and the buyout of Ubisoft here. So Guillemot Brothers Limited is a company run by the family of the same name, some of which founded Ubisoft. Oh, nice. Included the publisher long-serving CEO Yves Guillemot. GBL holds over 20% of the publisher voting rights, while Tencent only holds 9.2%. So that's where, when you don't have, obviously in business, if you have more of the ownership, you can take the lead there. So in 2022, Tencent increased its stake in GBL, indirectly increasing its investment in Ubisoft. So Bloomberg reached out to Ubisoft and GBL and Tencent for comment. The first two declined, while the latter has yet to respond. So obviously, and that's usually how businesses, they don't really get into this type of conversation. They just deal with the people that they need to deal with. They don't want to go down that line having to deal with us as reporters and commentators writing articles about them. So if you want to head over to gameindustry.biz to finish the rest of this article, I think it's a good article because it's like, you have acquisitions coming up from one big company to another. And when you talk about like knowing what a game is going to be like, this might slow up development of games within Ubisoft. We're just talking about what may happen just with a department within Microsoft changing its ways, which are good ways in my opinion. But if that might change the creativity and the quality, which for me, I don't think it has. I see the game every night, every time I upload it, and see the different challenges that we have, the different skins that we have. I see I see progress because Halo didn't have that before. So just I mentioned it before. It's your opinion. We could agree to disagree, but still got to be friends when we roll through this thing, right? Akito says Andy too, I believe. It says I have Squadron too. If you want to link up, yeah, we definitely got to do that, man. It says if my replies are slow, pushing my ass on. He said if my replies are slow, I'm pushing my son on the swing. Oh, you're out at the park. Nice, Akito. All right, so yeah, check that out over gameindustry.biz. Excuse me. If you want to read the rest of our article, that was pretty much the meat and the bones of that article there of Tencent being bought out by one company or going to buy Ubisoft. So that's big news right there. Big news. So what we got going on here? What's the next? We got a fun, and this is where that was quick hit. Ooh, shoot, that was quick hit. New Bytes right there. I forgot to put the tab up. I'll let that tab run for a few seconds here. But yeah, go over there, gameindustry.biz, and over to techforgamers.com. Techforgamers.com. Check that out. You can read it up on that article. So we're headed to our next segment of the show. Here is this or that, y'all.
This or that.
All right, we got a phone. So with all the business talk, right, of hostile takeovers, that's what I punched in here. This is the hostile takeover edition. So if you think about games that we've played, mostly RPGs that have business, like name of companies within the game, after the first one, you see that I'm gonna put up on the screen, you'll know what I'm talking about here. So if you played, a lot of y'all played the games that I'm about to hit, so you'll see where I'm going with this. So now you're gonna be picking within which company within the game that you like. So here we go. First one's up. So if you played the games of Resident Evil and Final Fantasy VII, so Resident Evil is Umbrella Corporation. I'm not picking them at all. I'm not even. I don't understand. I don't even know. I haven't played a lot of Final Fantasy, so I'm gonna just say Serena on Jump because I know Resident Evil. I played that game. Umbrella Company ain't right. They making everybody into zombies, poisoning the movie. Poison the actors or the characters in the game from the movies to the game. So I already know what that's about. I don't want to mess. So if it's a hostile takeover, or if it's a takeover, I want to take over Shinra. If I'm saying that right, Shinra. I don't know what that company is about. Maybe it's worse because it's being compared to Umbrella Corporation, but I already know what Umbrella's coming out, on about. You have them buy your town. That means your town in about 0 to 5 years everybody's gonna be a zombie. So I'm not about that life. So chat, what do you think there? What's your choice there? Shinra says Shinra poisoned the entire planet. What? See, I knew it. See, I looked it up, but I really do it by big homer. But I knew something had to be bad if they're getting put in the same line as Umbrella Company. It's a lose-lose. It's a lose-lose. It's a lose-lose. You got Shinra poison the entire planet. What was the poison? Like what happened to the planet in Final Fantasy from the poison? Akito. or anybody in the chat. They basically sucked the life out of the planet and created super. Oh, yeah, they just as bad as Umbrella Corporation. There we go. They created. They created Cloud and what's that? Cypheroth. If I'm saying that correctly. Okay, well, at least we got some good out of it, I guess. Umbrella Corporation created the liquor and all the demons that we see playing the Resident Evil game, Biohazard, all the different chapters of that. So I still gonna go Shinra on this. So it's Shinra Electric and Power Company. They use the life force of the planet to live more comfortable lives at the cost of draining the planet's life. So God, dog, that's kind of like what's going on in real life. I see why people like Final Fantasy now. Okay, I never really played it a whole lot, but I played it one time with a group of my cousins, and I was like, I think they were just playing it just to. I don't know if because they didn't tell me that. I didn't know that game got that deep. Okay, all right. Next item on the this or that list here. Hostile takeover action. So we now have Aperture Science. We know that from Portal, and Black Mesa from Half-Life. I only played Half-Life one time, and I didn't really. I almost forgot. I didn't even know. I forgot about Black Mesa. So tell me, chat, about Black Mesa. I know about Aperture a little bit from Portal. I played that a lot with my brother when the first version came out way back in the late 90s. So Cloud has depression. Bad. Okay, it gets deep. Gotcha, Aikido, with Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. So Aperture is I only know for Portal. Yeah, can't speak to it. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go with Aperture on that one. Oh, so that's my guys. Let me change that up. Oh, what I'm doing? Change that there. Fix this. Boom. There we go. There we go. Had to change this up a little bit. So I'm gonna go Aperture there. Aperture Science. All right. Next one is the fun. It's a fun one. This one's we getting into like the fictional worlds of Super Mario and Hyrule. So Bowser's Kingdom or Ganon's Rule. Oh, I'm gonna probably go Bowser's Kingdom because he's beatable. Ganon, I don't know. He's hardcore from Legend of Zelda. He's a hard boss to beat. So if I want him to, I'd rather have Bowser because at least Bowser's kind of funny. Like he's not really truly scary until the fire comes out his mouth towards you. So I'm gonna still go Bowser. Bowser's Kingdom. That's gonna be a hostile takeover. I'm Bowser's. Chat. What about y'all? What's the chat say? Bowser's Kingdom. I'm with you. Yeah. Ganon probably, but Ganon could easily stoop those Koopas. I hear it, Aikido. Bowser's Kingdom don't rock her as well. Yep, for sure. All right, next one on the list here. I'll move that one down. Hold up. Move that back up. Boom. We have Sith. Well, you already talked about Sith and Roth taking over Midgard, or Dr. Eggman taking over Green Hill Zone in Sonic the Hedgehog. So I know Sephiroth is now. I know that's Final Fantasy. I'm not really scared of Eggman. Like Eggman, I saw the previews of the next Sonic movie, so I think it's Sonic 3 coming out soon. And he seems like they had the pictures of his dad, or you saw his dad in there. So we got who picked who in here. So OG John says we can distract Bowser with Peach. 100%. That's why he's so easy to beat. He got so many weaknesses. I'm going to Bowser Kingdom if they try to hostile takeover because we could take it back really easy. Aikido says South of Rock 1,000, no debate. Oh wow, one wing angel. Okay, all those joked about the final boss music being in Latin and derived from Sephiroth's battle. I had to put that one up there. That was a good one. And my man said he said Sephiroth, 100%. Oh wow. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Hey, Dr. A, man, it's gonna be easy to take him back over. All right, next one on the list, we have Covenant or Locust. I don't know. This is a lose-lose. I don't like either to be hostily taken over by, because in the Locust, you like mutate yourself they'll mutate you into what they are. And oh no, that's Covenant. Excuse me. You get infected by the Covenant little things flying around, and you have like not locust? It's something, but yeah, it's Covenant, and they look like tumbleweeds rolling around. You know what? I think it's you're dealing with badasses in Gears of War. I'm gonna go Gears of War, even though like Halo is my game. I love the game. Just the Covenant, they're diabolical. But Locust Horde, man, they badass. They got the big guns, the big brawly looking dudes. I wouldn't mind having them take over the planet. But they're brutal though. They are brutal. They did topple Reach though. Yeah. Covenant. This is dope because I play both of these games. These are both one of my favorite, two of my shooters that I love to play. But I'm gonna stick with. I'll go with Gears. I did say Gears. I'll stick with that one first. I won't change my mind. You know what? I'm going to change my mind. I'm gonna go back to Halo. It's because I like the game. Just because I like the game. Here we go. All right, last one. We got a couple left here for this or that of the day. It's Hostile Takeover Edition. So Metal Gear Solid on PS1 and Silent Hill PS1 as well. I haven't played a whole lot of Metal Gear Solid, but I know kind of the plots of the game. It's basically, government espionage. You got Snake. He's your undercover go-to guy. And then Silent Hill, there's a company. I forgot the company name in that one. Or the house, the people that own the house. I'm not dealing with that, so I'm going to deal with Metal Gear. I'm going to deal with Metal Gear on that. Because Silent Hill is like possession, and you got demons, and what are you doing dealing with the paranormal? How did that happen? Don't want to do that. So, what about chat? Chat, what are you talking about here? It changed. I'm changing mine too with you. Yeah, you could do that. You could do that, Keto, all day. Metal Gear. He said Metal Gear Solid. I feel safer, I guess, but better than Pyramid Head. Exactly. Pyramid Head. Oh, no. See, I don't want that chasing me half the damn time. At least they'll just, in Metal Gear, they'll just like sequester you in a prison or something like that, Maybe knock you out a couple times. Yeah, Silent Hill was a town, but wasn't there a company in the town that made the town like kind of like Umbrella Corporation? I thought it was. All right. Oh man. So we got Metal Gear for Dome Rocker 2. All right, last one coming up here. And it's a fun one. Again, one of the games I have not played a lot, but I have played a lot of Star Wars games. So Galactic Empire. We already know this one. I'm gonna go the Combine, even though Combine might be way worse. Half-Life. I'm not dealing with the Galactic Empire unless I'm a Jedi. Now, if I'm a Jedi, bring it on. We already know the Galactic Empire, ruthless scourge of the galaxy, So yeah, nobody's gonna want to have a hostile takeover of the Galactic Empire. If that really happened here on our planet, I'll be like, what? What the heck? Nah, Where the Jedi at? If they're taking over, that means we have Jedi in our space. And I need to get trained by one so I can be part of the Jedi Order. So just for that, I'm gonna be whatever the Combine is. Anybody know what the Combine is? Before I know I'm picking probably the worst. Well, yeah, you would want to be a part of the Galactic Empire, Akito. Well, you know what? You could be spies. I'll be a Galactic Empire. Then I'll be a spy, and I'll make sure like the Republic has all the information, just like Star-Lord or Star. What's his name? The mechanic that put the little defect in the Death Star, and his daughter was in Rogue One. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Rogue. When I say Rogue One, you know what I'm talking about. So, all right, we are done with that, with this or that. Now we're headed to game releases of the week.
Release the games. It's time for the game releases. Game releases.
Our game releases here, y'all. And of course, we got finished talking about one of the games in this or that. So let me get the screen ready. And it's a fun game. And it's coming out this week. A remastered, remodeled, coming at you. game here of Silent Hill 2.
I got a letter.
Y'all. I'm gonna let him talk a little bit. I won't interrupt.
The envelope said Mary. My wife's name. It's ridiculous. Mary died of that damn disease 3 years ago. So then why am I looking for her?
So the return of Silent Hill is back, y'all. It's on PS5 and PC. It came out yesterday. Konami is back at it. So Silent Hill 2, this is the trailer for the remake of the 2001 psychological horror game from Blobber Team and Konami. The trailer gives us another look at the terrifying Pyramid Head, as was mentioned by Akito, as we learn more about the story and the horrors that await in the creepy town of Silent Hill.
Are you afraid?
Yeah, I'm afraid. No, I'm not. I'm not scared. I don't get scared. I get mad.
Run!
Yeah, you better run. Here come Pyramid Head with you. See all the little
I just want to get my
decrepit areas in the hill that you don't want to be. So Silent Hill 2 available on PS5, PC, via Steam. All right.
If you smart, dumb, ugly, pretty,
Oh, that is.
say what you did.
What? Was he mad because
And
he?
a corpse can't laugh.
Dang, he going crazy. What is that? Was that a bench? Double tap every time.
Leave me alone again.
There's Pyramid Head.
To take care of.
How does that even work?
I know what you are.
I know. I would not. No, I don't even. I'm not gonna say it.
I know
I'm not
why
gonna say
I
it.
needed you.
Why'd you need me?
But it's all over now.
Ooh, I love. That's what I have for
I
games.
don't need you anymore.
Yes, you do. You need demons in your life. I'm being silly right now. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. What in the Fristos? Oh, we got 2 Pyramid Heads. That's why Silent Hill 2, because you got 2 Pyramid Heads? No, I'm just joking. Going out tomorrow. You could have pre-ordered it. Probably had a lot of skins and stuff like that. But there it is. Oh my goodness. Silent Hill 2 is out. Oh my God, that's fun. Did I finish that game? I don't think I ever finished a Silent Hill. I played them. I went through them a few times. Not all the way though. So I need to, if I'm getting this, I'm gonna download this for October. I gotta finish it. And speaking of October, I hope you've been following me on my Instagram and my X. And I think I'm gonna put it on TikTok too, even though it's just Gamers Lounge, but it's me. TikTok, Instagram, X, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, which we're on now. We're streaming on Instagram. We're streaming on YouTube. We're streaming on LinkedIn. We're streaming on Facebook. And we're streaming on Millions as well. But with all that being said, I've been posting my October horror movies of the month. So hopefully you like it, share it, comment on. If you like that movie, you don't, I'm going to be in the comments checking it out. Please do that. I love horror movies. And my horror movie origin story is this, y'all. For everybody that's new to the chat, may not know this. So Bear Fan, he's not new. What's up, Bear Fan? How you doing? Akito, Dome Rocker, OG John is new to the chat. So he might like this story. So reason why I'm so much of a horror fan, I call myself a horror aficionado. Okay. My wife just asked me the other day, she's like, what? Like, do your own, create your own horror movie. So I went down all the different genres, right? I started with horror, with slasher to paranormal, like Exorcist and Ghost and everything, Ghostbusters. Then I did sci-fi like Aliens, and then I did a horror comedy. You know, I did all the genres, vampire, broke it down how I would do different movies from that genre. So I might do videos. They gave me an idea to do some videos here. I'll share. But yeah, go on to my Instagram, go on to my X. You'll see what I've been posting and sharing. I am watching these movies, so y'all know. I'm not just posting in it and then going to sleep. No, I'm watching the movie. During the movie, I'm posting it just as I'm starting to watch it. So, and we might do, by say at the end of the month, I might have a Saturday or Sunday going before October is over, where we could do a watch party, y'all, and watch one of my favorite or a fan voted on favorite of the chat of the Greenies. If you're a Greenie, we'll put in a poll one stream to see what horror movie we're going to watch at the end of the month. I like doing that. Have some fun with y'all. He said, I love horror movies. OG says the original Halloween. Ooh, I love your taste. I love some Michael Myers and Jamie Lee Curtis. We watched actually, I got put on the list. Actually, we watched it a couple nights ago. We did a double header, but we watched this one crazy one with Megan Fox called Till Death. And then we watched a little bit of the 2018 Halloween. And that time, what's her name is super old. She's older. Jamie Lee Curtis is older. And Michael Myers still killing folks. I don't know how that's working. So it is. So my favorite horror movie. Oh my God. Let me see. I mean, I can't not have a favorite. I just love them all. From Jason to Freddy to Michael to Pumpkinhead to Pinhead. What else? Abe was it? What's his name? What's the Exorcist? What's the daughter name? Her head spin around. She's throwing up pea soup. So Exorcist 1, 2, and 3, Paranormal Activity, Conjuring. Oh my God, the Nun. That is a spinoff from The Conjuring. Oh my God, all that stuff. Blair Witch Project. Hey man, Blair Witch Project was not scary to me. I got to be real. Oh, I was supposed to. I'm sorry, I got diverged. I diverged off where I was going. I was supposed to tell you my horror film origin story. So here we go. I'm so excited. Like I said, I love horror films so much. So my horror film origin story is this. So I was about 4 years old. Say 4. I got older. I told you I'm the youngest of my siblings, my mom's kids. I'm in the middle of my dad's kids. But in my mom's kids, who I grew up with, my sister, who's the oldest out of all of us, my 2 older brothers were supposed to be babysitting me, which they kind of were. Oh, Linda Blair. Thank you, the Bear fan. I just saw Blair, and I'm thinking Blair Witch Project automatically just there. So my 2 older brothers, older sisters, supposed to be babysitting me. And since I guess I'm getting in their way being a 4-year-old and wanting some attention. Yeah, Bear fan, I've been getting messages on Discord. Did you send me some today? If you send me some today, I'll check it out. So they were supposed to be babysitting me, and I was running around as a 4-year-old does. That is full of energy. They had friends over that probably shouldn't have been over. I'm pretty sure of that. And so I was in their way of their fun. And so what they decided to do to get me out of their way of their fun with their friends, because they're supposed to have friends over. My mom was at work. She was a bus driver then. So they set me on the couch, and just so happened Friday the 13th, part 2 was on TV. And so they set me on the couch and said, don't you move, or that guy on TV is going to get you. And it wasn't even the guy at that time. It was the mom. The mom was the murderer still in part 2. If y'all remember Friday the 13th, part 1. No, I'm sorry, part 1. It was Jason, but he was younger. It was still the ghost of the mom was floating around. So I'm watching this, and of course I'm froze. I'm like, oh, this dude chopping people in half, in the face, in the neck, in the back, through the bed. Ooh, but I'm 4. I can't process this. I'm sitting there like I'm froze. Like, so being so scared, I did not move from the couch. So when my mom got home, she got home late. She was a bus driver, like I said, in Omaha, Nebraska at that time. She got home late, I think around midnight or something. And I'm still up watching this movie. And she's like, what's wrong with my baby? Because I guess I got a crazy look on my face. I don't know. And my sisters, my brothers had to confess to what they did. And so I don't know if they got in trouble. I think they did. But for me, that's what started it, because I was 4. It processed it. And I guess, I don't know if I freaked out or didn't go to sleep. I don't know. I can't remember. I just remember watching it. And I was just like, And then like years later, I'm like, you want to watch a horror movie? And I think the one after that actually really scared the boo-boo out of me was Nightmare on Elm Street Part 1, the first one. Oh my God. The one scene where he's walking down the alley and both his arms are stretched out where he's scratching the walls of the garages on each side of the alley. I was like, oh man, he got reach. He could get me no matter where I'm like, I could be running from him. He could get me from 20 feet away with the arm. So that's when it started, and it hasn't let up. And what I did with it, obviously, I changed it into a fun thing to do for me. I laugh at bad horror movies, to be honest. If they have the acting's bad, the special effects, the storyline, the actors, I just break it down like I'm watching Monday Night Football, and that's gonna be some other videos I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start breaking down horror movies for y'all, and any other movie for that matter. I'm a movie guy, but I say horror movies is my favorites, but I watch all genres of horror movies: action, thriller, espionage, spy movies, love stories, all that. And so, yeah, I have my kids programmed to know the movies to watch. Like, they know directors, they know writers. So when they pull up on a movie, they know, okay, this movie's going to be good because, he directed Conjuring, or he wrote Freddy or Jason. Like I taught them that. So then I know, I said, look at the actors, look at the directors or the writers. Wes Craven, old school. Stephen King, It. Just know those names. So when you see the preview pop up and they say at the end, read the screen, you see Steven Spielberg, you might want to go see that movie. George Lucas, you might want to go check that. Spike Lee, go watch that movie. You don't even think, don't question it. Just go watch it. Wes Craven, Stephen King, go watch that. Don't doubt them. Those are OGs right there for horror movies and just movies in general. So yeah, I taught my kids that. So they're well trained in the movie genres and horror movie genres. So there you go. And I think we're wrapping it up for today because we don't have. Even though I like to I'm gonna run the clip though. I'm gonna run it because that's what I do. I'm gonna run it. I did game releases and.
Row, row, row your boat gently up the. Sorry. Excuse me. It's time for What's on Stream.
All right. For What's on Stream this week, there's nothing on stream this week because we have new shows to watch. We finished The Boys last week, season finale. Everybody basically got ripped apart. No, I'm just kidding. Only one person. It was the politician, the head popper. She got blown up. So now we got to find a new series to watch. What series should we watch, y'all? I kind of been messing around with Fight Night with Kevin Hart, even though it's not like a esports or culture. Like if you play video games, you go watch Fight Night. No, you go watch Fight Night because you old like me, and you know what happened in the 70s and the 80s and the 60s because your parents talked about it because you were 80s baby like me and the 80s and the 90s teenager like me. So you got any ideas? I know on Disney Plus, Agatha All Along. So she was the witch that was in a couple episodes of WandaVision way back when WandaVision was on. It's still on Disney Plus, but when it first came out, I was like, oh, so she has now her series. Maybe you can watch that. Give some tips, some highlights, some suggestions on next week's What's on Stream. But Agatha All Along is so good. I've been watching it. We haven't done anime yet. What about an anime series? Maybe a new series, something that just started, so we could kind of get into it together. Or we could maybe do an old series and go and y'all pick the season, like Luffy and crew with One Piece. Pick season 1500. I don't know. It's not on 1500, but you know what I'm saying. They got live episodes. Season 22 or something like that. If we do like a series like One Piece or Demon Slayer or something like that. What was your number one worst remake of Halloween? Great question, Bear fan. I don't know. The remakes are interesting with Halloween and Jason because they don't really I say I'm not. There's no worse because they haven't really. Let's see with the Halloween storyline. I'm just between Halloween and Jason. I'm just impressed by how these guys do not die. Like how I'm like these guys been blown up, stabbed, head chopped off, arm, leg chopped off, burned alive, poisoned, hit by a car, a truck, a tank, and they still. I'm like, man, this is if these were real people and they didn't have their something off in the head, I'd be like, hey, I'm gonna sign them up on my football team right now. These guys don't stop. That's running back 1 and 2. But since they are crazy and they do get people because they can't have them on the football field pulling people's brains out of their arms out of the socket. I can't really say what was the worst. Probably it would probably be some of the newest ones. You know what? No. Okay, it wasn't a bad movie. It was the latest, one of the latest ones where the first one remake with Jamie Lee and then Mike Myers doing his thing, where the whole town kind of got caught up in the whole Michael Myers thing, where they're like trying to hunt him down. Like they were going to act, they weren't scared anymore, which was good. But they were like, we're going to go kill him. And they had it was like old school pickaxes and shovels. And they end up getting kicked, where they checked down Mike. They pulled up on Mike. And Mike was like, well, you already know what's going on. Like, he didn't even have to say it. He knocked somebody, he swung a punch and knocked dude head off. It's like, bro, if you're going to challenge the villain in a horror movie, you better be about that life. You better be real. You can't be trash talking. Because Jason don't trash talk. Michael Myers don't trash talk. Michael Myers and Jason just rip your head off on sight. That's how they do people. So if you're gonna bring at least you gotta have a weapon. You gotta have some crew behind you, unless you just as strong as them. Like if it's The Rock, like they put The Rock or John Cena in that setting, then it's gonna be something real, right? It's gonna be a fight because them two big guys versus those two big guys is gonna be real. Like Freddy versus Jason on that one was like, come on, man. Freddy had some corny lines, and he wasn't the same body weight or structure as Jason. Jason's a big barley dude. He's like a wood chopper. Freddy, he's like I can't even describe his body type. He's just Freddy. I'll just say that. He's just Freddy. And I don't see Freddy beating up Jason. I mean, other than like he got in his dream, like he knocked Jason out. I remember he knocked him out. He was dreaming. And that's it. Like you can't still. Jason's that dude. Michael Myers are that dude. Those two, they on that other level of fighting. I like what you say. As OG says, is they spent 2 movies talking how Michael Myers is just a normal guy, and then he brutalizes a dozen unarmed people. 100%. It's like, really, what is really going down here? So we can have this conversation forever, y'all. I'm a horror movie nut. So every episode this month, let's definitely talk about it, even though we might not I got horror movie, like I said, on my social media. Make sure you follow me, share, comment in that chat when I do my post tonight. I do them at night because it's nighttime. You don't post horror movies during the day. You post at night when you're about to watch the movie, about to get into that life. And I'll tell y'all one quick story that I did to myself. He said, Freddy, Jason, and Jason both whooped by the mountain. Make that happen. Yeah. By the mountain from Game of Thrones. What? Hey, big ups on that, Bear fan. I likes that. That's a matchup. As a matter of fact, at Evo, I saw a video game. It was an indie company that had a video game of all the world's like history of villains, like Genghis Khan, the Wicked Witch just for example, it's not, I don't think it had the Wicked Witch of the West, but it said somebody, witches and folklore horror monsters from other continents in this game. So they had the Wolfman, they had Frankenstein, but then they had Jason, Michael Myers, but then they had some creature from Germany that was a German folklore horror monster or whatever, France, South America, Brazil, Colombia, stuff like Hawaii. Like they had monsters from different cultures in this video game. It was at Evo. I forgot the name of the company. I know I wrote it down, but I thought that was cool. And so to have a matchup like that, the Mountain, he ain't scared. Man, the Mountain, you know what? I'll put money on the Mountain for real. Because he ripped off he ripped off somebody's head, right? And he smashed somebody's skull. Wasn't it your boy? That's a Mandalorian. He was the actor. They crushed his head. He crushed it. He popped his head like a pimple. So there you go. So we're at the end of the show here, man. I could sit here and talk, but yeah, it's on social media. I'll put it out. We'll try to vote on in the Discord. So join the Discord if you're new to the stream. Please join Discord, Ahman Green TV. So then we go vote on our next series of things to watch for what's on stream. All right. And almost forgot, gamer tip of the week here. Gamer tip in the week. And y'all gonna like this. It's just like horror monsters and horror villains. They're toxic, right? So when you're in a game, don't engage with the toxic players. Mute or report them instead, right? Because I want to have my good session of Halo going on. I want to get my slaying on, my capture the flag happening, my strongholding. And I don't want somebody in my ear talking all that static. Oh, y'all suck. I'm like, bro, we're on the same team. Oh, F you. All that garbage. Mute. You know what? I'm going to mute you. Boop, boop. And then after you mute them, go on the Xbox little thing, find their name, and then report them. Because we don't need all that garbage while we're trying to game and have a fantastic time. All right. When you gaming, and y'all know what I'm talking about. You want to go out there and have fun. You want to be out there with somebody throwing all that jibber jabber nonsense out, blah, 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 blah. Mute them, and then we'll go report them. Because report them, muting them is one thing, right? But why you follow through with the report is because if you don't say nothing to them, they're going to continue to do that. And if you don't put their account on notice by notifying Microsoft, by notifying PlayStation, Steam, or wherever you can report Activision, when you don't do it, they're going to keep doing it. Eventually, they're going to come across somebody that doesn't know how to mute, or they don't understand that I could just mute them. They want to engage with them, and then they're upset and frustrated and might get their feelings hurt, and then they have a terrible experience while they're gaming. So don't just mute. Report their butt too. Trust me, every time I'm playing Madden, I got people, guys on here telling me trash, and I'm destroying them. I'm giving them the business, and I suck. I want to say stuff, but I can't do it. Can't do it. You know what? I'll mute you. Microsoft gonna reach out and tell you about your account's been banned. This been your 5th offense, whatever. All right, so do that. So that is the gamer tip of the week. Don't engage in toxic players. Mute them, ignore them, and then report them to the authorities, which is Microsoft, PlayStation, and Steam, Activision, whatever game you playing, even or console you're on. Tell on them. Hey, they can't, what they gonna do about it. So there you go. Thank you, OG John 67. Please do that, because everybody jumps on the system to have a good time. You don't jump on there when they're with all that nonsense. I mean, I grew up old school, so I grew up playing games in person. Football, baseball, basketball. It was trash talking then, and if it got crazy enough, yeah, we would fight, but then it was over. And then there would be no trash talking because somebody got their butt kicked. Just saying. So now today we got this virtual stuff. So we got keyboard champions that think they all that. They think they can run their mouths and this, that, and the other. But man, it ain't cool. Mute them, ignore them, report them. Ooh, mute them, ignore them, report. I'm gonna make that a little jingle. There you go. See what we got out of this now? All right, Bear fan, the average historian, what's good with you, man? But what'd you say? But you face to face, not being a keyboard. But you face to face, not being a keyboard warrior. No, can't be no. I ain't no keyboard warrior. I'd rather see you. Come sit right next to me. We could play this Madden. Now talk trash. What you gonna do now? Huh? Say something. That's another touchdown. That's another touchdown. I gotta go. I got things to do. But no, I appreciate y'all coming in tonight. Wow. Today. Remember that gamer tip? Check out some Silent Hill. Check out some horror movies. Like and share. And there's all my places where you can like and share and follow me at right there. All right. Be Be nice and be kind. That's my man, Raph. If y'all watch this channel, remember, we have the drive is on the ticket, but then I do Green and Go G Lounge every Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. So that's me, Gilbert Brown, and Dorsey Levins. And Gilbert and Dorsey and all of us together, oh, it's magic. So Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. and then throwing in the Discord too, so you can see any updates, any announcements that I will make. Please do that. Like, share, retweet. Is it still retweet even though it's X? Is it at re-X? Wouldn't it be re-X? I'm just saying. I'm being silly right now. Let me stop it. Let me get out of here. I got things to do. I got to go downstairs. I got to go live a life. I'm being silly. I got to get out to Cali, Bear, man. I got to get some of your ribs, man. Some of your brisket. Because I'm not even a Packers fan, and listening to you 3 days was a lot of fun. Appreciate you. OG 6'7". What are you a fan of? Are you a Bears fan? You a Lions fan? You a 49ers fan? Titans fan? What are you? What fan are you? Are you a baseball fan? Maybe your team's in the playoffs right now. WNBA. Oh, you're a Broncos fan. Hey, you my boy Chris Raff. He's a big Broncos fan on the ticket. And every time he could get, he brings up the Broncos. We could be talking about something else. Oh, well, John Elway did that. We like, Raff, stop it, bro. We know you like the Broncos. Stop it. Oh, man, we know average historian. Yep, we know that, dog, big dog. Oh, man, Bear fan says, I've been here 10 years. I've been 10 years as a Bear fan. But to me, it's all about the player, not the game. Yes, indeed. I like that. I like that little line there, Bear fan. But, yeah, I got to go. I could sit here and talk to you. I got actually something to do, and I got to go. But I like talking to my fans, like talking to the greenies. But y'all have fun on your hump day. I might stream later. I don't know. But I'll be streaming next week for sure. But I'll be in Green Bay this weekend for the Cardinals and coming to Green Bay. I'm coming to Green Bay. Let's go have some fun, watch my Packers play, get another win. You know, what it'll be 4-2. I think they get the win this weekend, 4-2. So I hope everyone else have a great weekend. Be safe traveling. If you are, be safe traveling. If you have family and friends down in the southeastern part of the United States, in terms of Florida, hopefully they are safe. They have evacuated the areas. I know we do too. I checked in with friends. Please check in with them. Check in with your family and friends that are down in Florida. They're dealing with a lot of hurricanes right now, a lot of craziness going on down there. Mother Nature is cutting up. Nothing that we could do about it. But we can go wish them luck. Make sure they get evacuate those areas as safe as possible for them, and so you could reconnect with your family and friends that are down there and that they're okay. So see you next week. Same bat channel, same bat time here Wednesday at 2 p.m. Ahman Green's Gamers Lounge. Green and Go G Lounge, 10:30 a.m. on Tuesdays. Ooh, yeah, you didn't know that. And then also watch me on Believe in Packers. Me and my man Alex Fernando breaking down Packer football from the weekend. I'm everywhere, just letting y'all know. Doing some big things. And I think y'all saw the article. Well, I'll talk about that next week. The article that came out a few weeks ago about what I'm doing with alumni media and everything. I'll dig into that a little bit more next week so we can get some information to y'all. So enjoy your week. Peace. Let me do this. All right, go on here. Ooh, let's do the music first. I don't know if y'all can even hear the music. Can y'all hear the music? I know I can hear the music.